Hey everyone, so I'm going to teach you how to do a problem that's asking about similar figures. So this one says quadrilateral PQRT and quadrilateral KLMN are similar. Which proportion must be true? Okay, so that means we have to create proportions that compare both of these shapes, these similar shapes. So the first thing I want to do is choose a shape, or choose one of these shapes. I'll start with the small one. And I'm going to choose a starting point. The starting point that I'm going to choose is the easiest to identify, which is going to be R, because of this little curve that it has there. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a direction to go in. It doesn't matter which direction I go in. I just have to go in the same direction for both sides. So I'm going to choose to go clockwise, like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the numbers that are on each side of this shape, and I'm going to write them as the numerators in a proportion. So starting right after where I circled. So 4.12, 3, x, and then 4.28. If you noticed, we went around the shape, writing every number down. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with the similar figure. So I'm going to choose my starting point. The one that is identifiable is this one here. This corresponds with R on the other shape because of this curve. And remember, I have to go in the same direction as the other shape. Okay, so I'm going to go and write all of those numbers as my denominator in the proportions. So starting with y, 9, 8.91, and 12.84. Okay, so now we have to choose our answer choice, which one of these is correct. And we do that by comparing the proportions here in the answer choices with what we wrote down. Okay, so for A, we see x over 9. But do you see that x and the 9 here are not together? So that tells me that this is not a correct answer. And then B tells us that we have x over 8.91, which we do, but on the other side we have 4.12 over 9. And if you notice here, those two numbers are not in the same proportion. So that tells us that B is not correct. If we look at C, we can see that it has y over 4.28. And you'll notice that these two numbers, the y and the 4.28, are not in the same proportion. So we know that this is not our answer. And the letter choice D tells us that we have y over 4.12, which we do. It's just flipped upside down, but that's okay. And then we have 9 over 3, which those are in the same proportion, but they also have to be flipped upside down, which they are. So that means that our correct answer here is D.